Today's episode is brought to you by Drizzly. Beer, wine, and liquor delivered in under 60 minutes. Let's face it, we've all been in that situation where you forgot to pick something up and you just don't want to get back in your car and head back to the store and get it. Well, Drizzly has you covered. Shop and order from thousands of products from local retailers with absolutely no markup. Seriously. And if you head over to unitedwedrink.com/drizzly, DRIZLY, right now and enter the promo code DrizzlyDeal, DRIZLYDEAL, you will get $5 off your first order of over $20. Sit back and relax and order yourself a 6-pack or a nice bottle of Cab Sav or a handle of Buffalo Trace if you so wish. Do it all with Drizzly at unitedwedrink.com/drizzly and then use the promo code DrizzlyDeal, DRIZLYDEAL, and you will get $5 off your first order of over $20. Drizzly. Beer, wine, and liquor delivered in under 60 minutes. Must be 21 to use. Enjoy responsibly. The opinions and statements in this podcast do not represent those of the host's employers, co-workers, family, or imaginary friends. Now enjoy the show.
There aren't enough beer podcasts in the world. Welcome to United We Drink.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new mini episode of the United We Drink podcast right here on unitedwedrink.com, as well as wherever fine podcasts are found. All three of us are here today. Mike, Joel, Phil. How are you guys doing? How you holding up, Phil?
I'm doing well. I would like to try and get this to an end as quickly as possible so that my wife would stop giving me honey-do lists over the weekend, or at least slow them down just a little bit.
Joel, how about you?
I don't have a honey-do list, but I'm not exactly sure what that is.
I was curious myself, but I thought maybe I just am missing something that I
literally have done nothing but house projects all weekend because I can't leave the house. So it's like, hey, build an exhaust hood. Great. Awesome.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, that's
for
my
like
life
your
right
kitchen?
now. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to start hiring you to do stuff around my house.
Nah, well, not right now.
Eventually. I don't even have a house that I own for
Hopefully
you to
it doesn't
work
get
on.
to that point. I can help you with projects, though.
It's been a crazy week, I think, since we last recorded and last put out the episode. The world is changing almost hour by hour, let alone day by day.
I literally had that conversation today saying, how crazy is it? Literally 1 week ago, 7 days ago, we were all talking like, oh, it could genuinely pass. I feel like the world has changed 7 times over since last Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, I look back at last Saturday and just think like that was really the beginning of this like social distancing thing. And now it just seems like yeah, of course, social distancing. I know there's people still not participating and partaking because we're ruining their spring break. But this is just, it's surreal.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to a Publix today because I had to go to the pharmacy, and I was happy to see that the Publix was actually pretty empty. So that in comparison to earlier in the week when I was running around and actually group texting all of you guys, like, hey, yeah, I'm running into these locations. Man, every place was a mob scene, where today it was actually a little bit more calm. So hopefully people are actually paying attention and staying inside.
How well was the store stocked?
Surprisingly well. Specifically within the categories that were a little lacking throughout the week. So your meat section, your dairy section, your eggs, the staples were definitely there. still no toilet paper, and people were freaking out over toilet paper. But all that I heard was, somebody saying, "Hey, we're getting shipments every day. We're trying to keep it on the shelf for you guys." Publix is asking people to please don't hoard. But for the most part, there was, you look at produce, that produce section's stocked, like
Nice.
full.
Yeah,
So I think we're getting back to some type of a regular plan.
I went to my Publix, I think Monday or Tuesday last week, and the produce section was empty. Like not even a potato or apple or head of garlic on the shelves. But yesterday, practically all of the produce is stocked. The only things that my local grocery store is missing still is the toilet paper. We had paper towels and eggs. There's no eggs to be found. But yeah, meats section is pretty good. Everything else, pasta, beans, rice are all really well stocked. Breads, yeah, they're getting a little more normal.
Yeah,
I stocked up at Publix maybe a week and a half or so ago before shit started really getting crazy. This was when people were really only hoarding like paper products. But I grabbed like a ton of rice, beans, shit like that, a lot of, non-perishable cans of stuff. And then I ended up going to Gordon Food Service in West Palm Beach, which supplies a lot of restaurants, including us sometimes, and it is open to the public. They had tons of shit. I mean, they also have a lot of bulk stuff, so I ended up buying like a 15-pound box of sliced bacon, which was probably my favorite move of this whole thing so far.
You're halfway through it already, right?
Almost. Ordering a lot from Drizzly, man. 2 days in a row. Fucking Drizzly.
Sometimes sponsor of the show.
Yes. In lieu of going to local... I'm just trying not to fucking go anywhere. I still need to pop into work, every couple of days just to make sure nobody's broke in or burn the place to the ground. But, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And in lieu of going to, local breweries, I've been trying to support various funds for their employees or their staff, even breweries afar, just ordering their beer online and saying, hey, give it to someone, who comes in. Because I've got plenty of beer. Like right now, we didn't even talk about what we're drinking. Right now, I've got a Ravenhold ESB from Calusa. It's fucking awesome. I'm pretty well stocked up on both craft and macro at this point, but I imagine ordering from Drizzly maybe every couple of days. I've already gone through a fucking case of High Life in like a day and a half.
Yeah, you point. Oh, I'm having a house lager, premium crafted lager, and a shot of Woodford rye.
Nice.
But the thing that you mentioned is all of these nice things that are kind of happening in the industry, and I'll let Phil say what he's drinking here in just a minute. But like, I think we should talk about that a little more in just a bit. Phil, what are you having?
I'm drinking a Polar Lime Seltzer right now, non-alcoholic. Sundays I'm trying to take Sundays off again, guys. So I physically went through an entire week without drinking, and then ended up having some drinks Friday and Saturday a little bit. But yeah, I successfully detoxed as planned, as I talked about on our last episode. So
you talked about that?
Yeah. I said I was going to start detoxing.
Man, that Boulevard beer hit me in the dome then.
Are you well stocked on sparkling water? Because I am normally I am well overstocked. I load up when it's fucking buy one get one, no matter what brand it is. I am completely out. No one has it. Like I'm starting to scratch my arm like a fucking heroin addict.
Yeah, I have 10 cans left. I literally saw 2 12-packs the other day, and I was like, I'm totally grabbing one of those. Yeah.
You know what? My Publix did not have any bubbly, like the brand, but plenty of LaCroix, plenty of Polar. I have Topo Chico grapefruit stocked up in the fridge right now. So
That's that fancy stuff.
I love that stuff. They just need to start carrying the lime one now. But it was weird that the bubbly brand specifically I saw none of.
What so interesting week, obviously, but what is one thing that you guys are seeing coming out of all of this that sort of gives you hope in human nature, I guess?
Well, for me, it's devastating to see breweries already closing and laying people off. I mean, it got real for me when I saw Second Shift announce that they had laid off some people, because I know for sure that they think of their staff as family. I mean, it's just, if you follow them and you follow everything they post and what they're all about, I mean, they are so fucking good to people, and how they feel about their staff and their culture, it shows. And I was driving home one night and I saw it on Twitter and just fucking, like, it hit me. Like, I broke down. It was really upsetting because I knew what that meant for them, and I knew how they felt about, you know, what all that means, and it was just devastating. But, you know, the good news is that a lot of breweries, including them, are doing online sales, curbside pickup, all that stuff, and I'm seeing a lot of people jumping on this trend of buying beer from afar and just saying, hey, you know, give it to somebody, just to support these places, throw them a few bucks, hopefully, you know, keep them going, keep them in business for as long as they can. You know, I know everyone's not going to be as fortunate to get that business. I know a lot of breweries were scraping by as it was. You know, at the beginning of this year, my prediction was brewery closures, and I certainly didn't mean it to happen this way.
See, you screwed this up, Joel.
Yeah, just like this is a way throwback, but I also killed Leslie Nielsen via Twitter years ago, but that's another story. But it is great to see so many. You know, there's been a lot of like funds set up for taproom staff, bar staff, service industry people all across the country to hopefully get them a little something to get them by in the meantime. And I've seen a lot of these GoFundMes go well over the target they were looking for, and that's really inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, how quickly the Second Shift GoFundMe fulfilled their goal. I know that blew them away, especially Libby. And that was amazing to see the support from their fans and good people. I know I donated some money to them and to Off Color. These are two breweries who I've never been to before, but I love everything that they stand for in our industry, and like, they're run by good people. I assume then their tap rooms are full of good people. They make great beer. And I want to do everything I can. I donated some money to my local coffee shop back in Philly, the one that I went to practically every day, because they had to lay off their employees, and it's just the owner running the shop in the interim, because I loved them. They were awesome people. I mean, still are awesome people. So I wanted to provide that. And, you know, it's interesting how we can give to people and want to help other people when we ourselves might not necessarily be in such a great spot to be able to do so. I was thinking about that. Like, there's so many other breweries that are doing stuff like this that I want to give to, but I got to be weary of my own job. Like, I do still have a job right now, but I don't know for how long that's going to last. I mean, I'm in the brewery making beer, and luckily there is some stuff in the cellar that can still be done. But eventually, if things don't get better, I might be on the chopping block for a time, because we're not selling draft. I mean, other than filling some crowlers, but that's slow moving. No distributors are taking kegs. We're getting some can orders still, but it's I could be one of those statistics at some point. So it's tough because you want to be good, you want to help others that are in need, but you also got to look at yourself and be like, I got to be a little stingy and a little frugal. So it's this weird give and take on that.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the trends, and seeing the breweries close is always sad. Seeing any business close, any business impacted. I know we're a beverage podcast, but looking at wholesalers, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, the on-premise basically came to a screeching halt this past week.
Oh, and it's going to be terrible when things come back on.
Well, I see. That's where I'm optimistic, and we can get into that.
I'm glad that you are
a little bit later. But I think at least for the temporary time, that just the trends of this past week in particular, and keep in mind we're recording this on March 22nd and at 7:30 p.m. So things have probably changed since this has been released, but this past week that we're talking about was pretty alarming when you basically saw all wholesalers across the United States cut off all draft orders. Your off-premise is still doing pretty well for the most part across the United States, and you're seeing grocery sales, but you also have to be the brewery that has the ability to sell within some of those outlets. One thing that I saw this past week, and I think that it's amazing, is some of those off-premise accounts, and we had several of them down here in South Florida, are posting seasonal hires, and they're actually hiring more people. They're trying to bring more people on. They're looking at hospitality industry folks first to try and help soften some of the blow, even though it is part-time work. You're seeing Costco hiring, you're seeing Publix hiring, you're seeing the several gas stations I went to this past week were hiring. Whole Foods is looking for seasonal help in certain locations. I think it's nice to sort of see the network of people that are trying to spread that information, so that maybe you were a local bartender and you got laid off. Unfortunately, at least there's a network of people looking to sort of help place you in a beverage industry to a degree, or a package industry. Optimistically, I think when we see our way through all of this, because eventually we will see our way through all of this. Yeah. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think the scary part is none of us know. Is it 2 weeks? Is it 4 weeks? Is it 6 weeks? What is it? The on-premise is going to be re-stimulated. Yes, there's going to be closures of businesses that can't weather, a 2-week storm or a 4-week storm or a 6-week storm. But I think people are going to be so tired of being cooped up in their house that they're just going to go out. They're going to support however they possibly can support. Hopefully the economy allows them to support. Hopefully they have, enough money squirreled away where they're able to do that. And I do think that we will see, I actually look at it as on-premise was sort of struggling and dying anyways. This could potentially be the rebirth of the on-premise because people are so excited to get out and physically interact with people. That losing the physical interaction, I think, is probably one of the hardest things right now, because as people, we want to physically interact with most people.
Joel doesn't.
I would say. I mean, he also bought 50 pounds of bacon, so I wouldn't leave the house
15,
either.
15.
Whatever, 50 pounds sounds better.
But I think another positive we're seeing out of this is all of these society structures and all these norms that people think we can't break through and get past. I mean, that's all crumbling all around us. I mean, I think this will definitely pave the way for hopefully self-distribution, beer delivery, all these things that we haven't been able to do. At least, in Florida and some other places, it all varies state by state, but there's lots of different things that are being proven we can do. And, so much shit that we've been doing all along just doesn't make sense anymore, and like not to get political or anything, but everyone's been talking about like, oh, we can't afford to pay for this, we can't afford to pay for that, and all of a sudden this comes along and it's like, oh, we'll just pull $2 or $3 trillion out of our ass and throw it at something. So it seems to be breaking a lot of norms, and I don't know.
Poor Norm.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Oh, and here's one amazing positive. I don't know if you guys saw this today. I mean, this is like the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel. Harvey Weinstein has coronavirus. So yeah, Harvey got the vid. He got the vid. Cheers to that.
As Joel takes a massive sip of his beverage with a smile on his face.
Everyone should.
I really like the innovation that's come out of this as well. Think about some of the things that you've been seeing on social media.
Online ordering.
I love
pickup.
I love the online ordering. Yeah. I love the drive-through pickup. Seeing some restaurants doing Happy Meal-esque thing where it's like you order a beer and a burger and it's a package, so you can basically swing by, grab a can of beer, get a burger, and it's $12 or whatever it is to go. I think that's awesome. Also, the other thing that I'm not gonna lie, I really liked, and I did one this past Friday, was a similar to like what we're doing right now with recording, but I did a happy hour with all 12 people on my team, and
saw that.
We literally talked and I thought maybe worst case scenario was just going to be me sitting in a go-to meeting by myself drinking, sadly, but every single one of my team members, I would say, showed up. Every single one of them laughed for an hour. We didn't discuss work. Everybody had so much fun. Literally, I had to end the call and say, hey, happy hour is over. And like, we're going to keep it to an actual hour. But the feedback was exponentially better than I expected it to be. And we're actually going to continue to do it every Friday, even once we're through all of this, because it's a way for all of us to interact as a team and as a family. And I thought that was amazing. So I think there are some really positive things to come out of this shitty situation, and shitty's an understatement. I think every once in a while we just need to sort of circle back and look at some of the minor silver linings that are coming out of this.
Yeah, and that's I think that's a fantastic point, Phil. You made about first. Let me talk about the technology things. Like, there's tons of people who are saying, like, I hope that a lot of breweries are able to keep stuff like this going with ordering the beer online and then being able to go in and pick it up. It might seem like an inconvenience when you're also doing your regular bar duties, but hey, if this becomes a convenience thing that customers love, you got to find a way to implement that and make those folks happy. I know that Six Point in Brooklyn, they have online order. They implemented an app for online ordering of their products like a year and a half ago. And I think that stuff like this is a great step towards helping satisfy another demographic of your customer base. And then what you were saying about the happy hour, last night, my fiance and I, we had a little video chat with our good friends, friend of the show, Kevin, and his wife. We sat around with our computers pointed at each other, talking for like 2.5 hours, drinking drinks and having a good time. I mean, we can continue to be social with one another in ways like this, and it's funny that it's like people can create their own podcasts now of sorts shared between themselves by using this technology that's been around for a long time at this point. And one of my other friends was telling me that you can play You Don't Know Jack on your Alexa with multiple people in different locations. So I'm like, all right, we got to do this sometime. That's going to be fun to do. And I think that stuff like this will help keep us sane through all of this, because it is tough to just be sitting around the house and you can only do so much. Like, I was able to accomplish a good bit this weekend. I sharpened my knives. I cleaned up my desktop on my computer. I ran virus scans. I did updates. I did a number of things, wrote a blog post, all of that. Like, but you're going to get to a point where you're going to be like, oh, what else can we do? Hey, call up some of your friends on video chat, hang out, discuss what you're doing, what they're doing, play a game. Like, it'll really keep your head in a good place.
I got tagged in the 10 push-up challenge on Instagram yesterday by some relatives. I was like, fuck you guys.
That's a thing?
I'm not, I'm not there yet. I saw a few other people participating. I'm still in the, like, hang out, drink beer, because I have been maxed out for so many fucking months now, ever since I started managing. Like, never a day off, no time to sleep in. I fucking slept till 1 o'clock yesterday. I have just been burning the candle at both ends and just beaten to shit over the last few months. So I'm going to take it easy to start, and then I'm going to eventually get into the productivity mode. I've got a lot of books to catch up on. I want to build some Legos with my kids, do some cleaning and work around here, fix up the fucking garage. But right now, I'm just taking it easy.
Yeah.
And I'm remarkably calm. I know this is going to sound like such a shitty thing to say, and I don't know if you've seen me post about this, but like, to be riddled with anxiety and shit and social anxiety and all that stuff all the time, and for the entire world to be falling apart around you, it's oddly calming. And it's like, yeah, welcome to my world. So I don't know. I'm fearful of what's going to come out on the other end. The aftermath is worrying. I think we're going to see a lot of friends and people we truly care about, not make it through with their businesses and things like that. But I'm fucking rooting for everyone and trying to support everyone in whatever way I can.
I just love the fact people are outside for the most part. Everybody's being super polite and nice. I agree with Joel. I think to a degree, once you come to the terms or the understanding that you can only control what you can control, and embrace that, then hopefully it makes it a little bit easier to handle day to day.
I as we're recording this, I just noticed that Joe Buck is trending on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh God, did he die?" No, he is he's doing play-by-play of his life on Twitter.
Oh, fuck off!
It is it looks funny. Like, he just called his own kid a half-assed looking Fred Flintstone because he's got some weird thing on.
All right. Do we have any questions?
Yes, we actually do. That's why I'm on Twitter, because we do have a couple questions for Q&A.
Celebrities should not be allowed to there has to be some sort of distinction, or like, you have a check mark if you're, a known
Verified
person. Or what. Yeah, like, there needs to be something next to these celebrity trends that immediately indicates they're not dead. Or that they are. Maybe like a little skull and, a tombstone or something, but fuck, what a tease.
What do you got against Joe Buck?
Oh God, he's like,
he's gotten way better over the years.
Dear Jesus, just read the questions.
Okay.
Just please.
All right. First question comes from at fresh_pitch, Fresh Pitch Beverage Consulting on Twitter. And they ask, are we all going to die? And if so, what should my last beer be? We'll start with Joel on this one. Because, yes, he's all doom and gloom.
Well, no, I mean, if you want to be realistic about it, yes, we all are at some point. I mean, it's better to just recognize it and face it and live your life accordingly. But Hopefully not at the moment. Let's be safe and smart, wash our hands, stay the fuck away from people like I've been preaching for years. And stay safe. Self-isolation, what is it, social distancing. Don't go out for that fucking pack of M&Ms. Like, I've been craving Chinese food and sparkling water for a good week now, and I'm not fucking going anywhere for it. So if Amazon doesn't have it, I'm not getting it. But the last beer, I mean, me or I don't know, whatever I got.
Or they're asking what their last beer should be. So
whatever they like, whatever they have. I mean, how can I answer for him? I don't know what he likes.
All right. I'll go next.
Okay. How about I don't know, one of the Hunapu variants that only select few people can get. Have that as your last beer.
We're not all gonna die yet, and have an Allagash White as your way of going out.
Son of a bitch.
I was thinking you were going to say that. So
I mean, it is my standard answer, but
we should just change the name of the podcast to Three Guys That Like Allagash White.
Three Whites.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, since Mike took Allagash White, I'm going to say just go to a Gaffle, have fun with it, enjoy it.
That's a good one.
No, we're not all going to die right now.
And then our last question is coming from on Twitter as well, from @m012, Mike Kanash. If I mispronounce your last name, I'm sorry, Mike. You've been a fan of the show for a while, and I've just never known how to pronounce it. He asks, how does it feel to record today? Do you think Florida will shut down before or after you upload the podcast episode, or never? We'll start with Phil on this.
I feel good today. So like how I'm actually feeling is good. Optimistic, trying to stay positive. Little sore because my wife has me doing a lot of things around the house. As for will Florida shut down, to be honest with you, I hope so. I hope at some point in time we go into a stay-at-home stance that some of these other states have actually implemented. 8 other states, as of when we're recording right now, either have scheduled or are under stay-at-home alerts. I think it's actually sort of necessary, at least for 2 weeks. Just stop allowing people to travel far away from their house and gathering. It looks like there's hurricane parties around my neighborhood every 18th house. It's exceptionally unusual because we do need to distance ourselves. We do, like, you should still be allowed to go for a run or go to the grocery store or the pharmacy, and those things are available to do even in a quote-unquote lockdown state. Essentials, which liquor stores did get announced this week. Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw, liquor stores are essential, so we're not going to lose our liquor stores.
At least in our state.
At least in our state. So, no, I don't think, sadly, I don't think Florida is ever going to shut down. I think they should. I think we're going to see certain counties shut down. I think by the time this is released, I would be shocked if Broward County, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach are not shut down. I'd also be very surprised if Duval County, Hillsborough County, potentially even Sarasota, Pinellas, Pasco area, Manatee, yeah. The high population areas, Orange County,
Monroe,
Orlando
shut
area,
down
Monroe
today.
Monroe actually shut down today.
That's where the keys are for people who aren't. They're actually not going to let any people come into the Keys unless you live there.
Yeah,
which is very similar to what they do during hurricane times.
Correct. And I think we're going to start to see some of that, but I don't think that it's going to be the entire state of Florida. I don't think we're going to hear it from Tallahassee, unfortunately.
Yeah. Joel?
I feel fine recording. I'm glad we're doing it. It's good to be talking to you guys throughout this, and I think we should do it more, even if it's just to have a quick beer. But I'm concerned. I think not only should we shut down, I think the whole goddamn country should just shut down. Just, excuse me, kill all the air traffic. I mean, I'm working in West Palm. I see planes taking off and landing, and I'm like, who the fuck are on those planes? I saw a satellite photo today of like American air traffic, and I know there's obviously a lot of cargo in the air right now, but a lot of passenger planes too, and I think that's just inexcusable horseshit right now. That is just spreading it all over the fucking place, and I think we should have been locked down already. I like I've said before, like I wasn't taking it like over seriously in the beginning, but I was concerned, and I did start buying some things early. But now it's like this shit is full blown, and we've got to get ahead of it. And we are doing such a fucking terrible job of staying ahead of it. The governor needs to shut this shit down. Forget spring break. Forget the beaches. Forget all the tourism dollars, because cases are like doubling in some areas, overnight, and it's fucking bad. And because of the limited amount of testing, we don't truly know the real numbers, and I think it's much higher than we're being told, not through any sort of media conspiracy or anything like that, but just that we don't have actual figures because not everyone is getting tested. I guarantee there are people terrified to be tested. I mean, think about single parents with kids at home that have to keep working in some sort of service industry position, take out food, whatever it is. I mean, I had this same guy from Drizzly come to my house twice in 2 days, and it's like, thank you very much, but get the fuck away from me. Like, I don't know how many people you've been in contact with today. Just touching the same package that he touched, I immediately throw it inside the house and go wash my hands. I mean, I'm not fucking around here. We got to shut this shit down now, or it's going to get really bad.
Let me ask you this question real quick. You talk about people needing to not be on planes. What about people who are actually somewhere that is not home? Like that are trying to get home, want to get home. Like, let's forget about the silly spring breakers, but like I know that I've heard stories from people that are stuck somewhere or are somewhere that is not their home, and they just want to get home so that they can sequester. Like, should those people not be able to get home? And I'm doing this just as a devil's advocate thing to get your opinion on it. But, I mean, that's something that should possibly be considered.
I think that's so. We actually, Dina and I both had a friend in town from England. He came over before the travel ban was closed. Had this plan or this vacation planned for quite some time. He came over. He was here for a week. His flight back was already canceled, so he was in essence stuck here. Luckily, he was actually able to get on a flight tonight. But I think that's the only reason why air travel should be permitted at this point in time, is to get back to where your legal address is. And even then, I don't know if it's cost effective for all the airlines to actually book a flight with maybe one or two people on it.
Oh, that's definitely not.
His flight was full. He basically was able to get on last minute. So he was afraid he was going to be stuck here, and he's in radio in the UK. And
I live here, and I'm afraid to be stuck here.
I have to. He was like, I got to get back. I got to get on the radio. I have a job, and like I got to be able to inform people. And so yeah, I think that there should still be travel. I think we should shut down any travel that isn't to home though, and limit domestic flights, interstate, at least right now.
Yeah,
I'm on a
100%.
travel ban. We're not permitted to travel, and we're getting weekly updates on when the company is safe or views it safe for us to continue to travel. And a lot of that is decided on hour by hour, minute by minute, paying attention to what the government and the CDC is putting out. I think we have to be smarter than what we are right now. And as a society, I'm not talking about a company or anything of that nature. As society, we need to be smarter than what we are right now.
I don't think it's smarter. I think it's more selfless. I think, not to put a negative spin on it, but I feel like this country does have a little bit of entitlement selfishness problem. You know, people, because we have this free open society, everybody wants to run around and do what they want to do and fuck everybody else, and especially in South Florida. And you know, seeing these planes up in the air is very concerning, especially when you mention something like a full flight, like holy shit. And you know, if you want to fly home and then go the fuck home. I think there needs to be screening when you get on, screening when you get off, but there's none of that. You see all these stories online of people like, oh yeah, I just flew international to LAX and got off the plane and no one gave a shit. Went and got my baggage and, you know, fucked off. So it's craziness. Like the problem right now I think we have is that there is no universal procedure. There is no universal rule. Like each state is just kind of doing what it wants and what it has to do. And some are looking to the federal government, others are doing their own thing, and it's just like nobody's on the same page, and that's the real concerning part.
I bet in a few months we're going to have protocol.
Yep.
Probably, yeah. As for me answering that question, I'm doing all right. I'm a lot better than I was earlier this week, and I pretty much, just to cop out, I'm pretty much on board with what Joel and Phil kind of feel as far as the state. And I mean, there's the states that are more populated than Florida have almost all done the same thing. Like New York, California are in shutdown mode. Texas, I think, is the only other state that has a higher population than us that hasn't done that yet. And they probably should. I think that we should. And will it? I don't know. Our governor has been kind of slow to react on certain things already, and we'll see how he continues to be in the face of this that we're dealing with. Thanks for both of you folks for submitting questions for Q&A. As always, if you have a question that you want us to read on a mini episode, hit us up on any of our social media, the contact page on our website, unitedwedrink.com, info@unitedwedrink.com, or you can contact us individually if you follow any of us on social media. You can do that. All right, let's begin to wrap things up here. Do you guys have any recommendations that you want to throw out this week?
Yeah. Get on YouTube and start looking at live music performances of some, you know, songs you may enjoy. I've been on this live music kick, even though it's not live and could have been recorded decades ago. But like, I was going down the rabbit hole last night watching Live Aid from 1985. Couldn't believe some of the performances I saw. Really, really great stuff. So, you know, get on there. Just like, I think I've said this before, like old comedy. Check out Rodney Dangerfield on the Johnny Carson show. Look at old roasts. There's so much good stuff out there. And I'm honestly bored with the new content, man. I watched The Invisible Man earlier. It was dog shit. It was like some sort of sci-fi Lifetime movie. But there's a lot of great old stuff out there that is really fallen by the wayside. So get on there. You know, just I found an amazing recording. I want to say this is like 1990. It's Faith No More with Young MC performing Epic. And Young MC has a rap verse in it. Fucking sensational.
What about you, Phil?
I watch a lot of live content. If you haven't watched the Tiny Desk concerts that NPR puts on,
yeah,
those are amazing. And they have bands as large as Wu-Tang Clan, all the way to some local regional artist performer. Definitely Tiny Desk concerts, a lot of fun to watch. My recommendation this week is actually a website called brain.fm. It's all about meditation music and sleep music and stuff like that. You can also find some of that stuff on like Spotify, even on YouTube for free. Brain FM does it. There is a small fee, but amazing stuff. It's really helped me focus on tasks at hand. I've actually been very, very busy this past week. Work-wise, a lot of logistical changes, on a very regular basis, and Brain FM and some of their tracks have really helped me focus. And then at night, I'm actually sleeping to the music as well. And it's helping me get more sound, more relaxing sleep. I love it. It's great if you're into listening to music to sort of put you in a mood. It's fantastic. Also, I mean, there's playlists on Spotify and YouTube as well. But brain.fm.
Neat. Well, I'm not going to say anything music related, although I do have this week's playlist, which I'll get to in a bit. And I'm also going to go against Joel about new stuff not being good. I'm going to recommend a new TV show that is on AMC called Dispatches from Elsewhere. It is a new show with Jason Segel, Andre 3000, Sally Field in it. And it is weird and wacky. If you like stuff like Lost and Twin Peaks, like thinking movies that are a little strange, or TV shows that are a little strange, I so recommend this. I'm probably a little partial because it was all filmed and based in Philadelphia. So there's this kind of romanticism of the city going on as well during the show that I really enjoy. But it's just this kind of bizarre show based around some people playing a puzzle game that is intertwined into real life. At least that's what it seems like so far. And I'm really into it. So I highly recommend checking that out. Dispatches from Elsewhere. It's on every Monday on AMC, and then, all the on-demand stuff as well. As for my playlist this week, I'm going to be doing New Wave.
Nice. Love it.
I was sitting at home yesterday while my fiance was working from home, and she had some New Wave on. And I've actually in the last year or so been very into listening to New Wave when I'm driving. So it made me think, because I hadn't figured out what I was going to do. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's going to be my playlist. So expect some Cure on there, some Echo and the Bunnymen. I'm looking forward to this one. Depeche Mode. Yeah.
Love it. I listen to so much New Wave at home. It's possibly my favorite genre right now.
It is good background music, but I feel like it works in so many situations. It's great for parties. It's great for just hanging out and chilling because it's not too aggressive, but it's weird that you can dance to it as well. Like,
for the most part, it's pretty fun music too, if you think about it. Even though some of the stuff has some underlying tones of depression, but it's for the most part, I like it. I love it. I'm looking forward to that one. I can't wait to hear your mix, Mike.
Thanks. If you want to listen to that playlist or any of our other playlists on Spotify, go to unitedwedrink.com/Spotify, and you can follow our account and you can see our playlists that we release every 2 weeks in correspondence with these mini episodes. Anyone want to say anything else before we sign off here?
This wasn't so home. Mini of a mini episode.
Yeah, this is our least mini episode. Yes, everyone stay safe. Check out our social media. We're at United We Drink on Twitter, United We Drink Pod on Instagram, and subscribe to the show on whichever podcast app suits your needs. Buy a shirt, button, sticker, or something from our store, unitedwedrink.com/store. It goes to supporting the show, and we really appreciate it. We've had a few people come out and buy stuff recently over the past couple weeks, and it means a lot to us. I mean, we get to put that towards our hosting, so that we don't have to pay out of pocket. Really, if that's the best, like, what we can do is that we can keep this show running just off of people like you supporting us. It means the world to us. I mean, thank you very much for continuing to support the show. we'll see you next week. We don't have a plan for what we're doing as a topic again, so maybe there'll be another hot mics thing, or we'll figure out a topic in the meantime. Check us out on social media. Maybe we'll come up with it and announce it on there. But in the meantime, everyone stay safe out there, wherever you are. And we're going to need you when we get through all of this. So stay safe. Cheers, everyone.
Enjoy Arby's drive-thru.
Be a good fucking human being. Peace. I ordered Chinese food last night. It was fucking amazing.